Hello everyone, hope you're doing well, and if you feel this channel is helping you to learn anything new, please like and share the video and subscribe the channel. So let's see what we have today. Today will be the part 2 of our group policy mechanism, and this will be an entire series, and this is the part 2 of the series which will cover the entire group policy mechanism in our Windows Server Active Directory. So let's see what we have covered in part 1. So we have seen what are policies in general, purpose of policies, the rule of thumb, and what is group policy and what does it do. So in our part 2, we'll discuss what is group policy object and where do group policies store their information, types of group policy objects or GPOs, and a group policy configuration model. So let's get started. So what is a group policy object? A group policy object is a virtual object that is identified by a global unique identifier or a GUID and stored at a domain level. Group policy objects, also known as GPOs, are basically a collection of rules, a virtual policy settings compilation. So group policy objects form a collection of policy settings, computer related policies and user related policies that have a role of defining a specific behavior for a computer or a user in an Active Directory environment. So Microsoft Group Policy Object is a collection of group policy settings that defines what a system will look like and how it will behave for a set of users or a group of users. So we define rules and we we configure settings in our group policy objects, and accordingly our users and computers behave in that particular manner. So we are going to take it up in our lab session in depth. So where do group policies store their information? So there are two locations wherein a group policy store the information. The first place is group policy container or GPC, and another location is group policy template or GPT. So let us understand what is a group policy container and what is group policy template. So group policy container resides in Active Directory and contains the metadata of the group policy. So metadata such as the group policy status, the version number, policy GUID, etc. means it contains information about the policy. Whereas in group policy template, it resides in C Windows system sysvol domain and the policies folder, and it contains the actual policy settings. For example, say disable USB, disable the command prompt. So whatever settings that we are going to configure, they will be the part of group policy template, and the metadata of the policy such as the name of the policy, okay, the status, version number, policy GUID, etc. will be saved in our Active Directory in the group policies container. So where do again group policy store the information? So the group policy container contains group policy properties such as version information, group policy status, GUID, etc. It is the metadata of the group policy. And the group policy template is used for file-based data and store software policies, scripts and deployment information. So it's now group policy containers is saved in our Active Directory database, whereas the group policy template is again a file-based storage, and it's stored on a shared folder named as system volume folder, sysvol folder, This shared folder is present on every domain controller under C Windows sysvol. So these are our group policy objects which are stored in Active Directory. See, group policy objects. So on the right hand side, you can say AD audit policy, CMD disabled, demo 1, default domain policy. These are all our group policy objects. Now let's look at the group policy container. As we know that group policy containers, okay, GPC are stored in Active Directory, and it's a metadata of our group policy. So we need to expand system, and under system we have policies. We just need to highlight policies, and we'll see all the group policy metadata or the container. And here we have group policy templates. As we know, the group policy templates are stored under sysvol folder on every domain controller. These are, say, flat files and folders. Now let us understand types of group policy objects. There are three types of group policy objects: local group policy objects, non-local, that is Active Directory based group policy objects, and we have something called as starter GPOs, or it's a predefined group policy templates. So let's look at all the three one by one. So local GPO. Local group policy object refers to collection of group policy settings that only apply to a local computer, okay, and to a local user who logs on to that computer. So as the name suggests, everything is local. Local GPOs are used when policy settings need to be applied to a single Windows computer or a user. And local GPOs exist by default on all the Windows computers. And this is how it looks like. If you look at the left and top, it's local computer policy, and we have computer configuration and user configuration. We will be, say, dealing with the computer configuration and user configuration in upcoming slides. So this is the local GPO. Now we have non-local GPOs, that is Active Directory based GPOs. So non-local GPO is used when policy settings need to be applied to more Windows computers or users, more than one. So non-local GPOs are applied to Windows computers or Windows users once they are linked to Active Directory. So it's only say applicable to computers who are, say, domain members, and the users who are the part of Active Directory domain. So these are our Active Directory based policies again. Now the third type of policy is starter GPOs. So these GPOs the starter GPOs were introduced in Windows Server 2008 Active Directory, and they are just templates, okay, of group policy objects. So these objects enable administrators to create and have a pre-configured group of settings, okay, that will represent a baseline for any future policy to be created. So we'll just create some basic templates, some baselines, and we can use those templates to create original policies. So we need to create these templates. So by logging on to Group Policy Management Console, just going down to Starter GPOs, we can just create our own templates. Now let us understand the group policy configuration model now. So we have two things over here. Computer configuration. So with computer configuration in group policy, you can set policies that are applied to computers now. Now these policies or these settings will be applied regardless of who logs on to that computer. And we have user configuration, we can use user configuration in group policy to set policy that applies to users regardless of which computer they log on. Let's say a username A logs on to computer PC1. So the policies which are applied to A will be carried along with the user. Even if the user logs on to PC2, the user policies will be applied. So this is how it is: computer configuration and user configuration. So we will be diving deep in, say, user configuration and computer configuration in our upcoming videos. So let us summarize what we have covered so far. So we have seen what is group policy object and where do group policies store their information. We have seen types of group policy objects, and we have seen group policy configuration model. And in our next session, we'll look at group policy settings, where can we apply group policies, and very important point, that is group policy processing order. Thank you for joining today's session. Hope you have enjoyed today's session, and hope to join you in the next session. Thank you very much. Have a great day.